Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a bit different. It is not fashion or beauty related, but it is still in the lifestyle realm. So 2020 is finally here. That means not only a new year, but a new decade. This past year and decade have been so great for me. I've accomplished so much has happened. Of course, it had its ups and downs, but overall, I just cannot believe all that has happened over the past 10 years, and I'm so excited for the next year and 10 years to unfold and see what this decade has to bring for me as well. So today I just wanted to share 10 tips or steps that will help you optimize your 2020 and help you to be productive and happier and just all around living a better life. So these 10 tips or steps are things that I have already either implemented in my life or plan to do myself and be better at some of these things. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this first tip is something that you should do right away. I know we're already in the middle of January, but this is something that you can still do now, but it'll make the rest of the year a lot easier on you if you do it sooner rather than later, and that is to organize your finances and see where you can save. So I know some banks offer a spending report. If you go online on their website or on their app, there is a section of the app or site that you can see where you spend your money, and it'll sometimes allow you to download a PDF and it'll show you how much you spent in the past 12 months to 18 months, and it will actually itemize each thing so that you can see how much you spent where and what you spend it on. I like to do this every January. I print out my spending report for the previous year and I go through and I highlight what I spent the most money on and where I can cut back. So for example, last year, we spent a lot of money on going out to eat, and I know this is something that so many people can say they're guilty of. This year I've gone through and I've highlighted all the times that we've gone out to eat, and I've said to myself and to my husband, I said, listen, this is how much money we've spent here. Here's how we can, pull back on that, which we've already started doing. We actually started subscribing to HelloFresh back in the fall, so that has actually helped us to stop spending money on going out to eat and ordering in all the time. So now not only do we, purchase the HelloFresh boxes, but this helps us to learn how to cook different meals so that if we like a meal a lot, we can go and purchase the ingredients ourselves and create that meal from scratch. Overall, these spending reports are just really great to see where you're spending your money, what it is all going to, and how you can stop spending as much as you do if that is something that you find that you have trouble with. The second tip kind of ties in with the first one, and that is to set aside money each week so that by the end of the year you have so much money saved up that you can use for whatever it is you're trying to save up for this year, whether that be buying a house or maybe it's just purchasing Christmas gifts at the end of the year. I know a lot of people, once the holiday season comes around, they kind of panic because they're putting out all this money for gifts, or maybe they're having trouble finding money to purchase gifts each year. So doing this now and doing it throughout the year will help you when it comes time to either purchase gifts or purchase your house or purchase a car or whatever it is that you may be saving up for. I know some of you may be saying, but how can I do that when I have bills and such? Well, the way you would do that is you would take your paycheck, whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. You would set aside your bills, and that is one thing that you can do with the spending report, is you can see an idea of how much you spend each month on bills. So you take that money and set it aside, and then you take what is left over and take a small percentage of that, or like a weekly straight across price, like $50, $100, and set it aside. Whether that be you go to the ATM and take it out and put it in a jar or in a box, or if you open up your own savings account and put that in there. By the end of the year, you will have saved up more money than you will originally have thought you could have. This is such a great technique for people who are trying to save up. I know this is something me and my husband did when we were trying to save up for a house. And now that we are in our house, we of course want to have kids eventually and upgrade. So this is something that we can start doing again. And by putting all this money aside now, when it is time for us to move out, we will feel comfortable putting a down payment on a bigger house and having kids and paying the higher mortgage when we upgrade. This next tip is so easy, and it is something that I do every year, and I am very particular about this, and it is to keep a planner so that you can keep track of appointments and even set goals for yourself. I am the type of person that loves having a planner. I love a nice organized, neat planner. In fact, I have 3 planners this year. I have one for my day job, I have one for my blog, and I have one for everything else going on in my life. It is just a way for me to keep track of everything that is happening, whether it be different events at work, different events or blog posts or goals for my blog, and different doctors, dentists, other appointments for at home here. Aside from keeping track of different appointments in these planners, you can set goals for yourself. So for example, if by June 1st I want to have so many page views on my blog, I can put that on June 1st, and then I can look ahead and have benchmarks for myself between now and June 1st, and I set them on certain days. That way, I know for me personally, if I see something written down, there's just something in my head that tells me to work harder so that I can reach my goal or my benchmark before it gets to that point. The 4th tip or step is to purge your belongings and get rid of anything that you no longer need or use or want. This is something that I actually do a few times a year because I'm the type of person that does not like clutter, and if there's something just sitting idle in my closet or on my shelf that I know I haven't used in a long time and that I likely won't use ever again or for a long time, I don't like it sitting there. I get rid of it. There are so many different methods of purging your belongings, but one of the ones that I like to follow, and I know this sounds so cliche, is the Marie Kondo method. I will go through everything, starting with my clothes, moving on to books and electronics and anything else that may be piling up throughout the house, and I tell myself, is this something that I like or I enjoy, and when was the last time I used it? When is the next time I plan on using it? And I go through a checklist of mental notes in my head that help me decide if I'm going to keep something or not. And then after all is said and done and I have all this extra space, I like to go through different ways of organizing my stuff. So for example, my closet is organized by different products. Like I've got my dresses, I've got my long sleeve shirts, my short sleeve shirts, my skirts, pants, etc. And within each of those categories, things are organized by color. That is just me. I'm very particular when it comes to those things, but it just makes me personally feel better knowing that everything is nice and organized and I know where I can find something if I need it. In addition, this is like a little pro tip here. When it comes to organizing your stuff, you will have less to organize if you don't feel the need to go out and buy something just because it is cheap. I am learning this the hard way, especially when it comes to the furniture and our home goods here. When we purchased this house, I went through and I bought a lot of cheap stuff just so we were able to fill our house because it was cheap and we were on a tight budget. And now that it is not even 2 years later, I am wanting to reorganize everything and get rid of, our coffee table, our entertainment center, and get new stuff that I know I will like for a long time. So if there's any recommendation I can make to you, it is to not just purchase something because it is cheap, but instead save up your money and purchase something that, even if it is a bit more expensive, it is something that you will like for a long time or that will get you through the long haul. Number 5 is one that I am working on slowly but surely, and that is to take on healthier habits. So these healthier habits can range from all sorts of things. For me personally, one of these goals or habits to pick up is to drink more water, which I have already started, and I have to say I'm doing a great job at it. I have been drinking so much water that I've actually cut out a lot of other unhealthy drinks like soda from my diet. In addition, these healthier habits may be going to the gym, even if it is just going for a walk, just some sort of exercise. Maybe it is to stop eating out as often and to cook meals at home. Maybe it is to start a keto diet or, cut meat out of your diet. Each person has their own preferences, but for me personally, I want to exercise more this year and I want to drink more water and to stop eating out as often, which are all things that I'm currently working on and I'm pretty proud of myself so far for. These healthier habits don't necessarily have to be physical habits or things that physically affect your health, but they can also be things that help you with your mental health or help you reduce stress. So for example, maybe something you have trouble with is every morning before you go to work, you're scrambling to put together a lunch. If in the beginning of the week you sit down and you meal prep for the week, you will have more time to, just take a breath in the morning and get ready, or maybe that means 5 extra minutes of sleep for you before you get up and ready for your day. These are all things that are essentially healthier habits. Maybe putting yourself on a regular sleep schedule, maybe trying to meditate and not be as stressed out as you are. That is definitely something that I need to work on. But in any case, these are all things that can be considered healthier habits that I highly recommend trying out, because it'll make you a more well-rounded and happier person. Tip number 6 is to try and learn something new or better a skill that you already have. So that could be if you are a writer, maybe you want to learn photography to go with your writing, or if you draw, maybe you want to, learn to write with it. Learning a new skill or bettering a skill that you have can help you in so many different ways in life, whether that be help you to get a promotion at work, or help you to pick up a new hobby, or just something that makes you happier. It is something that, I firmly believe in, and I don't think at the end of the day we ever stop learning. For me, I love to learn. I try to learn something new every week, whether it is something small, like just sitting down at my computer and learning, how to do something new on Photoshop, or how to do something new in Premiere, or, a different idea for my blog. I try to learn something new every week. I know that is not possible for, some people, but if you focus this year on learning one new skill, I would consider that a success. A skill that I would like to better this year is my graphic design skills and my video editing skills. I do it on a daily basis, but I would like to definitely better myself in those areas, and honestly, opportunities are endless to learn new things and better yourself. Number 7 is to find or set aside time to relax. This is the number one thing on my list that I need to force myself to do this year, and I think it will definitely help me with my work, especially having a visual job. I like to walk away from my work once in a while and come back to it, because when I come back to it, I see things that could be improved. I have a habit of sitting in front of a computer or in front of a piece of paper for a very long time, and I stare at it and I work, and by the time that it is time for me to go over, I am so burnt out and I am missing, mistakes or opportunities to make it better just because I have burned myself out. With that being said, in any job or field or any aspect of life, it is good to find time to relax, because it will help refresh your mind and refresh your eyes. Whether if you're, for example, a teacher and you're grading papers like essays, maybe there are mistakes in there that you're either being nitpicky about or you're missing because you've graded 17 papers before this one. Step away for a while, find some time to relax, and come back to it, and you may, have a whole fresh set of eyes to look at something. I think there's a fine line between relaxing and being lazy. Just because you sit on the couch and watch TV for an hour, that doesn't mean you're lazy. I think that is something that I definitely need to get through my head, and I'm sure many others do. Number 8 is to write things down. Maybe this is just a personal preference of mine, but I try to keep a notebook, whether it is a physical notebook or the notepad on my phone, and I write things down, whether it be lists of things that I need to get at the grocery store, or maybe I'm just sitting in bed and all of a sudden I come up with an idea for my blog, because I come up with ideas at the most random times. I will write everything down, because maybe, tomorrow I look at that list or look at that idea and I can expand on it, or maybe the next day I forget about it. Having it written down means that I can go back to it, and you never know when the best ideas will come about, so it is good to have a place to write things down, even if it is just something as simple as a reminder to take out the trash. seeing that physical evidence that you have written something down and told yourself to do something. It's kind of like speaking it into existence. You can also write down things that you are grateful for or have like a gratitude list, and it'll help you to have a new appreciation for these things. Like, for example, I am very grateful for my family and for my husband and for this house that we have. No matter how many times I say that it is too small or that, it's too much to clean or whatever, I am truly grateful for this house and for everything that we have built so far in life. So it just helps you to have a new appreciation for things. Number 9 is to take small steps out of your comfort zone, because you know what they say, first you gotta take baby steps to take big leaps. And even if you are doing something as simple as meeting somebody new or making a new friend, if you are a shy person like I am, this can be difficult, but doing these small things can help you to, in the long run, do great big things. You never know what opportunities or relationships will come about just by stepping out of your comfort zone. This is something that over the past few years I've started to do, and I am definitely planning on doing more this year. And at the end of the day, the only person that can hold you back is yourself. And finally, number 10 is something simple but so hard to do, and that is to wake up earlier. Even if it is just a half hour or an hour earlier, you would not believe the amount of things that you can accomplish in that short amount of time that at the end of the day, some days you may say, I didn't have time to do that. Well, guess what? If you get up a half hour earlier, you will have time to do those things. And I know for me personally, the longer I sleep in, the more sluggish I feel when I'm awake. If I get up early and have a fresh start to my day, I can get up, I can take my time getting ready, I can take my time doing things. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I just rushed through the day, that I was so busy that I didn't even get a chance to sit down. I just feel more at ease and I feel more awake, and I just feel so much more ready and motivated to have a productive day. So those are my 10 tips to help you have a more productive and optimal 2020 year. These are all very small things that, even if you work on them one at a time, you will find by the end of the year that you have had such a great year, and that you can look back on it and not feel like it was all just went by in a blur. It is nice to be able to sit back and watch things unfold naturally and not just feel so stressed and tense all the time, which is something that I'm totally working on, but having this list of things for me to work on and do one by one, it just really helps. So I hope these things help you too, and I hope that you all have a great 2020 and a very happy decade. If you liked today's video, make sure you hit the red button down below to subscribe. I also post about fashion and beauty and other lifestyle things, and be sure to follow me on social media at Bray Cutter, and check out my blog at unbreakablebliss.com. And until next time, see you guys!